Hello, everybody. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Heart of a Hobbit here on the Lotro Twitch stream. And I am your host, Little Redhead. I'll be with you for the next 2 hours, and we are going to go have some Hobnanigans shenanigans here in just a few minutes. Oh, right, I'm out in the North Downs. I forgot I left myself out here. So I have been searching for gold in them thar hills. So actually, while I'm here, I'm just gonna, that would not be gold, that'd be rich iron, but I'll go grab it. And let's see. Oh, so couple things. So today, Hobnanigans starts, which is a fun, silly little event that they do in Lotro. And they've been doing about every other month. So that's been pretty cool. They've been pretty consistent with that through the end of the year here. So when you first log in, you'll have a pop-up that there is a quest called Hobnanigans is here. And I have, in your UI settings, or in your options, I should say, so if you go to Control-O, in your options, and I don't remember exactly where, but somewhere in here is something to like auto, when you get those quests that are auto-bestowed, you can have it automatically say yes, like automatically accept those. So it's one of these, I think. Show quest, here it is. Always accept automatic quests. And so I have checked that. So it says, if checked, you will automatically accept any automatically bestowed quests. So like when you're out in the wilderness and, you know, something pops up because it's geolocated, you know, take out 8 orcs in this area. And you have to click on it. And sometimes you've already like taken out 4 or 5 of them, and then you click on it, you're like, oh, okay, now I need to do 8. I heard you already did some, right? So I have it so it automatically accepts those auto-bestowed quests, except when your quest log is full. When not checked or when your log is full, you will have the temporary ability to manually accept quests using the quest action button. So the quest action button is here, it's popped up for me, and it's basically asking me to then, you know how a lot of times with those quests you pick it up and then when it's completed, it pops up again and you go, ka-chunk, you know, you should click it again to finish it. So that's what it's doing, is it's already accepted the quest and now it's waiting for me to click on it to complete it. So I click on it, it comes up and it's saying, hey, visit the Hobnanigans field. Hobnanigans is here is the title of it. And it says, visit the Hobnanigans field and attempt to put a chicken through a goal by hitting it with a stick. And it's gonna give me a map to Hobnanigans. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish that now. Boom. So we have finished Hobnanigans is here. So now we have in the inventory, among a whole bunch of other things, because I've been out and about, is a map to Hobnanigans, which amusingly Twitch does not like. So in my in the Twitch stream, you'll notice that it says Hobnanigans with a bunch of hyphens in it because Twitch did not like the word Hobnanigans. They thought it was violating some policy. So I thought that was kind of funny. I took somebody else there, but I can take you there if you want. Oh, I'm good. I already did it. Also, my campfire is set there. We did the Rift the other day, which is a level 50 raid on, on all the servers. So we did that on Treebeard here Saturday. Yep, Saturday. And so there's a quest that you can pick up at a campsite near the Rift where you go in, but it's an instance, so you can just have, the instance pops up and you just go in that way. But anyway, there's a campfire site with a bunch of people, and yes, so there's a repeatable mushroom quest that you can do, and we needed to turn it in, and we did not turn it in on Saturday. So I was on the other day, and one of our kin mates was also on, and was like, hey, can you run me over there so I can turn this in? And I was like, yes, I can. So I did that. Yeah, sorry. And so I set my campfire to there. So if we do it again on this coming Saturday, I can get people there to pick up the mushroom quest or just share it, of course. But to turn it in, I can also take people there. So today is Thursday. So every day, so this is how things are currently. And this will change at some point in the future. They've talked about adapting this in some way. But currently, the way this works is on every day, you have a silver Hobbit gift that you can open. So you open it, and it could be any sorts of things. These are just some examples of something it could be. So it could be a basic supply of some sort. It could be a buff. It could be a boost. It could be some gear. Which does include Figments of Splendor, or it can be some sort of a gift box, like a stat tome, that sort of thing. Ooh, was stat tomes this week? I didn't actually do that yet. Anyway, okay, there we go. So I got a box of a rare Matham Hunter's armor, so that's cool. It makes me wonder if it's any better than what I'm wearing, but okay, we'll take a look at that in a minute. Also though, because I'm a VIP, I have once a week a gold present for free. Now you can always buy more of these for mithril coins, but usually I don't unless it's like a holiday one where they got really cool special stuff in there, like holiday decorations and that sort of thing. But the rest of the time I usually don't spend mithril on it. So this could be some sort of advanced supplies. It also will give me a 50 virtue XP bottle as well. So, and then, or it could be a boof and bust, buff, which would give me 100 virtue XP bubble, an incomparable gear or item, which would give me 200 virtue XP bottle, or it could be a scroll of some sort plus the 500, or it could be an improved legendary gift box. I don't see those very often. Mithril, oh, that'd be exciting, wouldn't it? Ooh, there we go. I got some advanced supplies, so that gave me a 50 virtue XP bottle, so that's that one there. And a battle potion of restoration, of which I have 5. So funny thing though is I'm a hunter and I have purge poison, which removes up to 2 disease, wound, fear, poison effects with maximum target strength. Let's tool tip that off for a minute. So I have that as an ability, and what does this do for me? Let's find out. Is it better? It removes up to 3 disease, wound, fear, poison effects from the target. Oh, and mine is with a maximum strength of 55. Yeah, okay. I can see why the battle potions might be a little bit better. All right, well, I won't ditch them just yet. Okay, we'll leave them there. The other thing I like to do, one of the first things I do when I log on, if I'm going to be out and about with the character, is I go talk to Wenda Cranesbill. She's that lady right there with her very stylish hat. Check out that hat, man. It's pretty good stuff. So I'm going to talk to her, and she is going to give me a quest called VIP Rewards. And I accept this quest, and then I turn around and turn it right back into her. And she gives me the subscriber town services and the subscriber's jug. So now I have those. Thanks, Wenda. The subscriber's jug will accelerate my crafting time, and it also prevents item wear from combat, crafting, defeat, all of that. So that I'm going to consume immediately, and that lasts for 48 hours. So you just need to check in with the window basically every other day. And then my subscriber town services, which is my window in my pocket, basically. It's the town center in my pocket. Allows me to browse the shop, open my vault, open shared storage, open the wardrobe, open the auction house. So I like it. But I'm not going to worry about any of that right now because we are going to go check out Hobnanigans. Would you like to join me, Affadilio? Yeah. Excellent. I shall take us to Bree. To Bree. Now, we all just... I know, we have the handy dandy map, but I am choosing to not use it because I'll show you how to get there I'll show you how to get there if you don't have a map. So you want to head to Bree. And most people have some sort of travel to Bree. As long as you're not a human, you can buy it in Bree for those reputation consumables. So at the in that south alleyway, if you don't know what I'm talking about, pop in to the chat and I'll show you. But most people, I think, are know about it, and so if you already know about it, I don't need to show you. But yeah, so if you have that, you'll end up popping into the west gate of Bree, where we just came in over on that side, and you go here to the Breeland Festival Grounds horse, and it automatically teleports you just a little bit north. And from here, we're going to head just a little bit south because Hobnanigans is right over that ridge. There's a little hedge in the way from the, there's the horse racing that you can go and do here. We're just gonna slip by that. So you can see the bunting. That's how you know you're in the right area. So this is the Hobnanigans area. Dun da da. Oh yeah, sticks are on the field. So what you have at Hobnanigans, if this is something that's new to you, is there are 4 different fields where we are. And actually, yeah, I'll just do a quick overview from up here and then we'll start grabbing sticks because I think we may be here a while. So there's a field up here at the top, field number 4, and it has 6 sticks per side. So you see there's 6 blue ones there and 6 red ones there. And there's another large field just like it down the hill and on the other side. So they also have 6 and 6. And then here in the middle are 2 fields where we have 3 red, 3 blue, and 3 red, 3 blue. So those are fields, 2 and 3, I think, right here. So let's go ahead and pick a field. So we'll start with this guy here. We'll start with Gorbulas Millstone. And he says, a game of Hobnanigans, Flying Feathers, Field 2. So you want to come and join, so you want to join the Flying Feathers, do you? Fine then, come on and play a round of Hobnanigans. You must wait in the area for 2 other players to join your team. Then you shall play for the right to become a winner in the Great Chicken Chasing League of Eriador. This is no small honor. So basically, you go in here, he's given me a quest, and the quest is to pick up a stick and play a game of Hobnanigans. So I have picked up a stick. Now you'll notice there are a whole bunch of other sticks. So we could stand around here and wait, which, I mean, we will do some of that. But we could wait for 4 other people to show up. That doesn't happen very often, and it's not my preferred style of play anyway. Oh, so instead, we're going to wait, and then we have a buff currently, or debuff, depending on how you look at it. And it says, Hobnanigans, you are playing Hobnanigans. It's a duration of 5 minutes, and we're currently 4.5 minutes, to go, because we're 30 seconds in. When that expires, I can leave the field, thereby failing my quest, but it then allows me to pick up the quest again, which means I can come in here and pick up another stick. So basically, you can, if you have 2 people, you can run through here. First 5 minutes, you get the first 2 sticks, and then the second 5 minutes, at the end of that, you get the second sticks, and then you get the last 2 sticks. So basically 15 minutes, and then you play a game, and it's like 10-minute game. So it's like a 25-minute rotation to play 1 game of Hobnanigans with 2 players that are very patient. Like, this is the sort of thing you do if you're like, doing homework on the side or something. I say that because we are taking Dutch lessons, and so I am learning a lot of Dutch. I have a lot of Dutch homework on the side to do, and so this would be like the ideal thing to do. Now, another thing you can do is we on Laurelin, for example, which is one of the regular servers, we have a number of other characters that we've created on other accounts. Spreken jullie Nederlands een beetje? Jou weet dat. You know that. Anyway, so we've created a bunch of other characters to play music with. And each one has a separate account, so that way we can have them all on at the same time. And so they're also very convenient to use those characters for playing Hobnanigans, because then you can just field a whole side, wait till that expires, then go field the whole other side. Yeah, I see that. Do we not have a lot of people on right now? No, 164. That's all right. All right, so I'm going to, go into into the looking for Fellowship channel. Oh, Hobnanigans Field 2. 2 of 6. 2 of 6, you should have said 2 of 3. I don't want extra people. Oops, and they also went to the wrong thing. So what we like to do is we like to have all the players on the same side. So, because so when you play a game of Hobnanigans, you end up getting 5 Hobnanigans tokens if you play the game. Doesn't matter whether you win or lose. You get 5 Hobnanigans tokens. If you win, you get an additional 10. So what we like to do is basically we clear one side, and then we clear the other side, so that we have all of us on one team, and so we all win. So that's how we like to do it. Also, I'm not, the hand-eye coordination. It extends to my character in game. So I like to have everybody on the same side. That way we all win together, and nobody has to try and outplay anybody else. So. Hi, Tulpani. How are you? It's good to see you. I was going to mention something Hobbity related, and now I can't remember what it was. Anyway, so we've been talking about Hobnanigans. Also, so here in the Netherlands, it is early December, and so we just had somebody else show up. So now we have 4. So we're definitely going to have at least one person playing on a side without the others. So bummer. Then I will go and get that blue stick so I can be on the blue side at least. So my Hobnanigans thing was about to expire, I noticed. So I'm just gonna scooch on over there. Oh wait, is that your stick? Oh, okay. Well, you and I are gonna be on opposite sides, it looks like, sweetie. Okay. Also, I just realized I'm wearing like my adventuring outfit. I feel like I should change my outfit. Although it's not going to show once we get our Hobnanigans outfits on. Well, there we go. I could wear my scary outfit. Although you can't see it under my Hobnanigans outfit. Or can you? Oh, look at that. It's showing out that part. You can keep using your frying pan. Oh, that's true. I did take off my frying pan. Uh-oh. Yeah, see, I'm not going to win. I give up already. Wait, there's 3 of us on the blue team. The blue team should be able to win this with 3 of us. Oh, except for the person on the blue team shooting things the wrong direction. So that's hilarious. I think I'll just go stand in the middle and wait till the next one comes up. Also, I don't like that outfit. I'm going to switch it. No. Oh, that's fun. There we go. We're in my Halloween outfit. Although it's funny because it won't show the... somebody says, I hit it. I didn't touch it. Are you kidding me? I'm not. There we go. Ah, here we go. They got it on top, but now I can do this. Now we can hopefully get this one. See if this guy can figure out how to kick a chicken. So the headcanon that I have is that the chickens find this like ridiculously silly. Uh-oh, Red's beating us and there's 3 of us. This is really sad. Like, how bad are we? We're really bad.
No, it's a hard game.
It's a hard game.
Minutes to learn, lifetime to master.
Minutes to learn, lifetime to master. Sure. Hey, blue scored. Good job, 3-on-1. Red leads by only 1 goal now. Oh, dear. Yeah, it's a very silly game. 8 minutes remain. Oh, so partway through the game, so as you may have noticed, I have 1 skill, and it's called Chicken Hit. So I can, every, 4 seconds, it has a 4-second cooldown. Every 4 seconds, I can whap the chicken towards the goal. And 4 seconds. Did I say 4 minutes? I meant 4 seconds if I said 4 minutes. So, oops, where is it? What's for his face target? Well, I'm looking for it. Oh, there it is. let's see, at 6 minutes in, at some point through the game, we get a second skill. And then when there's like 2 minutes left, you get a third skill. Oop, it says it's too far away. Let me try that again.
It's like 4 minutes.
Like 4 minutes, you think? No, I think it's at two. We'll find out. We'll have to pay attention this time. A lot of times I just play the game and I'm not even paying attention. I'm just like, oh, whatever. Yeah, so that's what I like to do is play a game where you've basically got exactly the number of players you need to fill one side of a field. And then you have that group of people finish one side of the grabbing the sticks, and then you have that same group of people then, after 5 minutes goes by and their buff is gone, switch to the other side, completely clear it off, and the game starts. So that goes a lot faster because then you're only waiting 5 minutes for the game to start, and then, like I said, it's like a 10-minute game. Oops. So that isn't too bad. And yeah, it's definitely a lot easier when we have our cousins with us. That makes like, okay, 6 minutes remain. We got a new skill. So let's see, we still have our chicken hit, which is that one. But now we have rapid chicken hit. So every 1.5 seconds, you can do that. So 4 seconds, 1.5 seconds. So it is a lot faster. You can just like, now notice that the goal over there, it has a wagon in the way now. So there's a whole bunch of random things that happen on the field. For example, these corn stalks are not a given. Sometimes, oh man, what? Red scored again. We only lead by 1 goal at this point. This is really sad. This is, you're doing great. It's like, have you ever watched children playing soccer? So, like, older kids and adults know when you play soccer that, you know, you have positions and you try to, you know, you have the people that are here and they kind of get the ball to the people that are here, and the people that are here get to the ball to the people that are there, who then hit it in the goal, right? So you've got people spaced out all the way through the field is the idea, right? But when you have littler kids playing, they just want to kick the ball. Like, the ball is the exciting thing. They don't want to worry about strategy. Like, that is not their interest. They just want to get to the ball and they want to kick it, because that's pretty exciting stuff. Plus, the whole time when you're practicing, what are you doing? You're not practicing standing around. You're practicing your ball skills, right? You're practicing kicking the ball and trapping the ball and being able to walk and touch it with both feet and, you know, all those things. So, oh my goodness. So yeah, so these kids get very excited when they have the chance to go for the ball when you're playing soccer. So what they all do is they swarm around it. So you end up with this big clump of little kids all centered around a soccer ball or a football, as it were. And it's pretty dang cute. So instead of calling it, you know, soccer as it was when I was coaching, we called it swarm ball, because that's kind of what it looks like. Oh my gosh, what? This is, oh my goodness, you. Well, it doesn't help that my computer lags out all the time when I'm trying to stream. So there's that. Yeah. Well, if we just keep you from scoring, I think that's really the goal here at this point. Maybe I should just stand in a goal and like keep it away. Although I'd probably kick it in, so that's a bad idea. Oh, I got it down the field slightly. Wow, we almost had this in too. That's really sad. Oh no. Is it a tie game? Now, if it ties, nobody gets the extra stuff. Oh my goodness. This is crazy cakes. Ah, it's near me. There, I hit it away from me. So this reminds me of Swarm Ball. This is very much a case of Swarm Ball.
In my defense, my team has to swarm the ball.
Yes, well, you're a team of one, so you have to swarm the ball. That's true.
I already went to.
Yay! With a couple minutes left or whatever. Oh, hey, we got the boot. The boot wins. See, 2 minutes remain. New skill. So you don't get the new skill for very long, but it is funny. So you drink from a boot. See, I'm drinking from a boot. And then it's like I get kicked by the boot. I laugh, and then it's like I get kicked by the boot. It has a kick. Get it? It's a boot. It has a kick. That's right. I'll be here. Well, I would say all night, but I'm not here all night. You know, I gotta sleep sometime. Okay, let's see if I can get thee behind me, chicken. Wait. Okay, I'm not going near that chicken. I'm just gonna stay out here. I'll wait till they kick it this way. Nope, they didn't kick it this way. Oh, but hey, that means there'll be a new chicken. Where is it? There it is. Nope, I didn't get it. It was gone by the time my action went through. Let's see if I can kick it here. Well, I think I managed to actually get it. So anyway, so I was going to say, so the field is randomized. So we've got these corn stalks that are here, and you'll notice there's 6 of them on each side of the field. So that's one thing that you can get. You could also, it could put 2 corn stalks out on each side of the field. Sometimes it does that. And then after a score, it'll swap around. Oh, I think my closed captioning isn't working. Hang on, let me see if it's saying error again. Let's try that. Okay, let's try that. So the goal areas, sometimes, you know, it'll put in an obstacle in the way. Now, if it does it on one side, I'm pretty sure it does it on the other side, though. Yeah, so there's one on each side. I'm like, where is that chicken? Oh, you guys have it all down there. That's funny. I'll just drink from a boot here. Hey, we won the game. That's exciting. I'll just drink from a boot. Woo-hoo. Oh my gosh, that was crazy cakes. Wait, it says the game is now tied. On my screen, it came up and said the game is now tied. Oh, but I still got 15 Hobnanigans, so I was on the winning team. Okay, that's all that matters. That's all that matters to me. Goodness, I'm having...
Hello there.
There we go.
Might I speak with you a moment?
Go around, please. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay. So now we've got 3 red, well, 2 reds. I don't know what happened to the other person. They ran away. Oh, maybe they were looking at stuff in the middle. So when you do Hobnanigans, you may have noticed I got some tokens there. So right now I've got 15 Hobnanigans tokens in my inventory. I think I have some in my shared storage though. Because I usually, when it's not Hobnanigans, when it's not happening, I don't carry them around on me. And they don't go into your wallet because they are tradable. You can sell them, trade them to anybody. Yeah, there we go. So I have 490 Hobnanigan tokens there, plus the 15. There we go, we'll just add those in. Plus I have, you'll notice, a white chicken token. So that's a rare drop. The chicken tokens that are a single color. So you might get a white chicken token. You could get, there's a Dorking chicken, there's an orange chicken. So there's like 6 different ones that you might get a chicken token. And with those tokens, you can buy things. So there's vendors in various places around these fields. So I don't want to leave the field, because if I leave the field, remember, I will fail the quest. And I'm not ready to fail the quest yet and pick it up again. But up in there, there's a vendor, and she sells, not seashells, but the chickens that are pets, I think. She either sells the pets or the lawn, like a yard item chicken, or maybe both. I forget which. And then also, let's see. Who else? Oh, somebody left. Okay, well, whatever. Oh yeah, there's this one, this housing decorations quartermaster. Oh yeah, I think they're the one that sell the chicken that's a housing item. So you can have in your yard like a single chicken just standing there. And there's those 6 different colors. So the white, I think there's a black one. There's one that looks black, but I can't remember if it's, I think that one might be the Dorking chicken. Then there's they're all based on on like chicken breeds, I think. There's the orange Wyandotte. Oh, I forgot. Oh, hey, I might be able to tell you what the names are because if I go into my deed tracker, I go to class race epic and go to race and social. And if I go down to, well, I'll just go to Hobnanigans maybe. Nope. Okay, what about chicken? Is it under chicken? There we go. Okay, so there we go. There's the Blackfoot, the Dorking, the orange Wyandotte, the red, the Scrapper, and the white. I think the Scrapper is the one that looks orange, or maybe that's the red that it has a real dark orange look to it. So, so the chicken token that you get, you can turn it in for a chicken that sits on your lawn. You can turn it in for a chicken a pet chicken that follows you around. A chicken in your hat. Hey, Weir Willow. Yes, don't forget the Scrapper chicken. That's why I had to pull it up because I'm all of a sudden I couldn't remember the 6 different chickens. Yeah, a chicken that goes that sits in a nest on your head. That one's cute. Let's see what else is there. The chicken pet, the chicken that you're carrying, but you can't turn in the chicken token for the chicken that you carry. That's a consumable deed. So basically you have to buy, you buy one and you consume it and now you're carrying a chicken around and it's a induction bar, like, so it slowly ticks down. It lasts a long time, at like 20 minutes or something. I don't know, Affidel, you might know how long the carrying chicken lasts. Because Affidel went and did these deeds, because deed completionist. And so that person that you purchase those from is over there. Oops. What is? Oh dear, I think it went sticky. They're over in that area. That's where the vendor is, or quartermaster is located, where you buy the consumables. And so you have to do the carrying chicken like 50 times or something like that, and then you have the permanent skill. So it's just like those other consumables that we were getting from the, actually I have on my bar. So like I have, oops, let me run over to Affidel, who is explaining the game. Awesome. So let's see, I have the potent bird seed. Let's see, it calls a bunch of birds in. And so once you do that like 300 times, then you have the permanent skill unlocked. So, yeah, so there's that. So we have still 2 blue sticks, and my timer's run out, so I'll pop out and grab one and get this game going, hopefully. Once we have one more person grab a stick. Affidel, your timer might also be up, if you wanted to grab a blue stick. Oh, you're checking to see if they want to be on the winning team?
You don't know it's going to be the winning team.
I mean, the odds are with us. Although, even though we just barely, did well last time. So anyway, so there's Quartermaster is all about. So yeah, the Quartermaster for the consumables is in that back area over there. There's a Quartermaster for some other stuff over on that little platform. You can just barely see them. And they are doing like a putt and a chip. So basically golf maneuvers, but with chickens, it's very silly. There's the Quartermaster. So those are technically emotes. So there's the chicken chip, the chicken putt, the chicken drive, and you can toss feathers. That's a nice one. So you can get that from that person over there. And these all cost just regular Hobnanigans tokens. So those Hobnanigans tokens I was showing you where I have like 400, it's because I'm saving up for all of these things. Now the Quartermaster here in the middle, you can spend mithril coins to double what you earn from the next time you play or something like that. I don't generally do that. I'm not sure that it's a good use of spending mithril coins. But maybe, I mean, depends on time for money and all that. Let's see, that Quartermaster cosmetic equipment. Oh, so that's the one with the nest on your head. They also have the capes, like the cape that I'm wearing. You can get that. I think it's a hoodless cape. You can buy that from that Quartermaster. There's also the hat that looks like a half-cracked, like a cracked chicken egg on your head. They have that one up there as well. Maybe one or two others. Forget what else is up there. So yeah, so there's all sorts of fun things that you can get. Now notice our field is empty this time. So it's, yeah, it varies. Oh hey, there's a chicken not being attended. We should go and knock it towards the goal. So yeah, so our headcanon is that the chickens find this very funny, and that's why they keep coming back, because they're just like, hee hee hee, it tickles, you know, that kind of idea. Oh, we're so close. So close. Hey, blue scored. It only took 3 of us on 2 chickens. Although, yeah, one person is new, so we definitely want to make sure they get a chance to experience the joy of Hobnanigans, or we think they might be new. So yeah, so you'll notice there's no corn stalks this time, but we do have an obstacle in our way. So we'll want to,
Is it the red player?
aha. Yes, the obstacle in our way is the red player. Now you'll notice, you may have noticed, that I kicked the chicken while it was in the air, unintentionally, and that kept it going in the direction that it was already going. Unfortunately for me, it was in the direction that the red player had just booted it, which was not the direction I was trying to hit that chicken. So, hey, hooray, blue scored, woohoo! So there we go. Okay, so today we're doing some Hobnanigans. We could do some bingo boffin. It's up to y'all. So let me know if you want to see some bingo boffin or if you'd rather see Hobnanigans. I'm open to either. Also, so I was mentioning that it's the beginning of December here. Well, it's the beginning of December most everywhere, I think. But here there is a holiday called Santa Claus. And that is St. Nicholas is Santa Claus. And that's the same origin of basically Santa Claus that is popular in the United States. So, but here it's December 5th, and the Dutch children put their shoes out by the fireplace or the radiator if they don't have a fireplace. And Santa Claus will come. Now, Santa Claus arrives in the Netherlands like 3 weeks before his birthday, which is December 5th. And December 5th then is when all the presents things happen. But he arrives and there's a big to-do, like there's a big parade, and in Amsterdam he arrives in a canal and a giant boat and a steamboat. We've been learning about this in Dutch class as well. So it's a stoomboot, which is a steamboat. And he comes out Spanje. Yeah. Hij komt uit Spanje. So he comes from Spain. And yeah, so he comes around and arrives in the Netherlands like 3 weeks before his birthday. And so it's big to do. And he brings his helpers, Pete. He used to be, there's been an evolution of that. We're not even going to get into that right now. So we have Pete, who comes along with and helps out. So when the children are like lined up for the parades when, you know, Santa Claus arrives. Santa Claus and the Pete's like go around and throw candy at the kids, or they'll go up to them. The kids have like their hands out and they'll just pour, you know, the cookies into their hands basically. But it's like, it's hilarious watching videos of this, because it's like, you know, here's some dude like basically reaching into his pocket and pouring cookies, you know, just random cookies into some child's hand. I'm like, have you washed your hands? Like, like these are the places my mind goes right now. It's kind of funny. So anyway, so they give out candy, some candies, some chocolates, sometimes like chocolate coins, you know, like gold coins, and yeah, so all sorts of fun and silly things. So then over that 3-week period, there's lots of things that happen. For the children, they have this whole like separate news program, the Santa Claus Journal, the Santa Claus Journal, where, you know, there'll be like news about what's going on with Santa Claus, and there's always some sort of storyline, you know, and drama, like, you know, oh no, the boat, you know, got unmoored, and now the presents are floating away in the North Sea, or, you know, some thing of that sort. So so that happens over the 3 weeks. And there's lots of things, of course, that show up in the stores that are special to this time of year. So one thing that happens is people get chocolate letters. And I'm thinking, okay, Santa Claus, I'm thinking Santa Claus, I'm thinking you write a letter to Santa Claus, right? No, that's not what they mean. They mean like a letter of the alphabet. So this is a chocolate letter. So I haven't actually opened it, but there you go. So this is, I got, this one is pure chocolate. So it's what basically dark chocolate is what the equivalent is in English. So inside, we'll go ahead and open this puppy up. Oh, it's in a little bag. Some of them are on like a plastic sheet because it's a mold, you know, it's been poured into the mold. But this one is in a bag. And this came from Hema, which is like a department store. So like I think I bought my previous winter coat there, things like that. So so basically all kinds of stores get into, you know, the whole Santa Claus and the Santa Claus time of year thing. That's interesting. The bag has a slight kind of paper feel to it. Like it's coming apart very easily. It doesn't feel like plastic. I mean, it does, but it feels also like paper. So, okay, so I'm going to try not to grab it too much or it'll just melt in my hand. But there you go. There is my chocolate letter. Ta-da! So, yeah. Yeah, we should got an L for a little redhead. So there we go. There's my, that was pretty tasty too. Yeah. So the idea is that somebody gives you a chocolate letter. Like, funny enough, a friend of ours, hello lurker, welcome. Feel free to lurk away. But if you have anything you want to talk about, definitely put that in there. Oh, and I'll bring up again that, yeah, we have some Bingo Boffin we could do, or we could just keep doing Hobnanigans the whole time. I'm totally fine with either one. So if you have an opinion about whether you'd rather see some Bingo or rather continue watching Hobnanigans, just let me know. So anyway, so a friend of ours, an adult friend, we were at the board game store a couple years ago, because we've been here for like 3 years now, so we're starting to like see things multiple times now. And he was so excited because he's in a martial arts class, and the instructor came and gave all of the students chocolate letters, and so he was very excited that he got a chocolate letter. And this is before I knew what was going on. And so again, I was thinking, oh, Hobnanigans all day? Absolutely, easy peasy. So I was thinking again, like a letter. So I'm thinking like it's a block of chocolate, like maybe a big rectangle of chocolate with maybe like, you know, pretend writing on it or something, like a chocolate letter that you would write. But no, it's the letter of the alphabet. So it's kind of cool. Now we are in Dutch classes, but they did not buy us chocolate letters. But that's okay. But they did bring in, so there's a number of other treats that are of this time of year. There is pepernoten. So also keep in mind, so the part of the Dutch history is what was at one time called the Spice Islands, because there was a lot of spices there, and there are, a series of islands, right? But it's Indonesia. So there are treats that were made with a bunch of spices, like all of a sudden brain just stopped. But yeah, nutmeg and cinnamon, and so like this kind of spices you think of probably when you're thinking like holiday cooking. Yeah, maybe some ginger. So yeah, all sorts of fun spices, and so those are also in treats that you get at this time of year in the Netherlands as well. So so you might get pepernoten, which is based. Oh, hey, we won! Woohoo! Yay! Good job, Team Blue. Yeah, let's grab some sticks. Grab some sticks. Grab some sticks. Now, funny thing. Okay, so you can get like a breakfast bread, Ontbijtbrood, that is has those similar spices in it. So the nutmeg and the cinnamon and maybe some cloves and that kind of thing, right? And you slice it up and you have it for breakfast. So there's a treat that's made of basically the same thing. So it's like a squishy bread-like thing, but it's in like kind of chunks. But that one, so technically that's pepernoten. And then there's also kruidnoten, which kraud would be like spices. And so like little spicy cookies. So like kind of like your ginger snap or gingerbread cookies, like that kind of thing, where it's hard, crunchy, and it has a lot of similar spices in it. But the funny thing is, the kruidnoten is more new, like 100 years old, as opposed to pepernoten, which is like 500 years old. So people will call the squishy bready one the same name as the crunchy one. So they might say, hey, I'd like some kruidnoten. Well, what they mean is they want pepernoten, but so it's kind of funny. It's because they're wrong. It's their culture. But yeah, it's funny. So we've been getting kruidnoten. I get some gluten-free kruidnoten, and I like it best with the chocolate because you can get it covered in chocolate. Those are the best. Yes, pepernoten are not kruidnoten, but they call them the same thing. So funny. So that's a cultural thing that we have been introduced to. What are some other treats at this time of year? Oh, marzipan. You can get little animals a lot of times in marzipan. Or apparently like a pig is for good luck. So if Santa Claus leaves you a little marzipan pig, then that means he's wishing you good luck. Oh yeah, so 3 weeks before December 5th, Santa Claus shows up, and that's when the kids start leaving their shoes out at night. And then Santa Claus might come and leave some kruidnoten with their shoes, and then the kids are like, oh, nom 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 nom, and they sometimes, I guess, Santa Claus might leave a note for them in their shoe. I don't know what the note says. We didn't really get into that. Yes, beware of the frying pan being held by that hobbit. Oh, look at that. She's got the, oh my goodness. Did you see that? She had the chicken drive. That went far. That was pretty cool. It went past my head. That was neat. I want to see that again. I'm going to wait and see if she does it again. Also, we must cheer at the Weirwillow. Woohoo! Oh, here goes. Wow. That went all the way to the other field. That is impressive. That is very cool. I like it. That is awesome. Oh, I haven't been paying attention to chat if they're in the game, if there was any. So let's see what else is there happening. So the kids leave their shoes out, they get stuff, and then on the final night, they leave out carrots because. So here's where I'm a little fuzzy on the thing, but so Santa Claus is definitely involved, but so is Pete. And Pete, I think, is the one who does all the work. So I think Pete is the one that brings the presents to the house along with the horse. There's also a horse. Santa Claus always has a horse, and the horse has a name, and the name of the horse is very important for children to know. It's a thing. The current horse's name is Ozo Snell, and apparently that's a line in one of the songs that they sing at this time of year. So there we are. It's kind of like, pick a name or a word like, holly out of a, English song. It'd be the same kind of idea. So it's like just one of their songs from this time of year. That's what they picked. So Ozo Snell is the horse currently. And so the kids leave carrots out for the horse. And they don't leave anything for Santa Claus or for Pete, except for sometimes a beer, maybe? I think that came up or was mentioned kind of like as a side comment at one point. So it's not like in America where you think of Santa Claus where, you're leaving out all the cookies and the milk. You're leaving out stuff here. The kids are leaving stuff out for the horse. So that's kind of fun. Okay, so what else are they doing? So they leave out the stuff. And then in the morning, there might be like a knock on the door. And so the kids run to the door and open it, and there'll be a sack of presents. So they drag in this sack of presents, like a burlap sack. And that's where they find their presents. So it's, yeah. Oh, okay. Wow. Before I was doing a lot of work here. He says, I think the song lyric is, Ja, hij komt in donkere nachten op zijn paardje o zo snel. Which would be like, oh yeah, so he comes in, he comes in dark nights on his horse, oh so fast, oh so snel. But now they squished it all together, and so the horse's name is Ozo Snell. Like, it'd be like taking, a couple words in, I don't know, Deck the Halls. Like, the horse's name is Deck the Halls. His horse, Ozo Snell. Of course. I know, it sounds just like he would misinterpret a set of lyrics. It's fantastic. Op zijn paardje. So that's funny because paardje would be like his little horse. But maybe it's just because it's like a kid's thing. It's just his horse. Oh, I can grab a blue stick? Okay, I will do so. Thank you. Zoop. So notice I'm leaving. I've left the field. I've failed the quest. But now I can pick up the quest. I can accept the quest. Now, you can actually do that any other time. Like, I could have left the field 5 minutes ago. But here's the deal. As soon as you leave the field, you fail the quest. So let's say a couple other people had zoomed in here and picked up sticks. Then I'm out of luck. I'm off the field. I don't get to participate, even though I had picked up a stick previously. So that's why that's why I make sure that I don't leave the field until my time is up, and I'm going to grab a new one and start my next one, because I don't want to get left out. Like, I put all this time and effort into trying to get the darn thing, I might as well get credit for it. Because I tell you, when you are doing this solo, clearing a whole field solo is no fun. It takes a long time. Oh, we have 1 red player and 3 blue players. Dum dum dum. Uh-oh. Yeah, I mean, this dude didn't want to actually do anything, and he could just sit there for 10 minutes and get 5 tokens and call it good. But some people like to play the game. I don't feel strongly about playing the game. I'm okay just sitting around. In fact, what I like to do is have us all on one side, we score once, and then we spend the next 8 minutes like standing around talking. or, grabbing tea or reading a book or whatever we're doing, Are you two just kicking it back and forth to each other? That's funny. Here I am trying to get to it, and it keeps being gone by the time I get there. That's all right. Oh, well. Well, let's see if I can get anywhere with this. Oh, yay! Oh, didn't go anywhere. That was fruitless. I went a little further. Yay. Oh, boo, it's going the other way. All right, I got to rely on my blue team members here. I appreciate how the chicken has 6 morale and 5 power. Like, does the chicken even have, like, I don't know, any abilities? Like, how would they use that power? Now I'm curious. The chicken self-defense mechanism making us have a little bit of lag.
Yeah.
I like that. That's clever. So that's what's going on for us, is that we are, well, I would say we're preparing for Sinterklaas, which is happening in like 3 days. But I would say more accurately, I am putting things on the grocery list that I can only get this time of year. That's really how I prepare.
Yeah, not having children kind of dampens it.
That's true. So I don't have any young children. Like, I have 2 kids, but they're grown-ups and they live in America. So, I don't have little kids or medium-aged kids, whatever, who are partaking of this in the society. So it's a little more abstract at times to me than, maybe it would be otherwise. And really, I'm in it for the candy anyway. Like, I'm totally happy with, yeah. So, would you stop kicking it back to the wrong side? Goof. All we gotta do is just score a couple times, let it go, leave it alone. I'll be totally fine with this. So anyway, I like marzipan, and I do find that it seems to be a Dutch thing to do marzipan around specific holidays, like around Easter or Pasen. There was, what did they have? Oh, little eggs, like little chicken eggs that were done in marzipan. That was cute. You enjoy your chocolate letter? So we did get chocolate letters this year. I don't know if you were here already when I showed off mine. I got my chocolate letter. So we picked up chocolate letters for both of us this year. So there's my chocolate letter. I went ahead and took a bite. It's pretty good. It is yummy. Okay, so Kevin knows best. You're enjoying your chocolate letter. So are you Dutch? Like, what's the scoop? How did you get a chocolate letter? Did somebody get it for you? Or did you walk into the store, you're like, I'm getting my chocolate letter? Or like, how does that come together as a normal Dutch person, if you are a normal Dutch person? I know I'm making all sorts of assumptions here. You are actually Dutch, cool, and it was a present. Okay, cool, awesome. So was it a present from like a teacher, or who is it a present from? So I'm sitting here trying to explain what we have learned about Dutch culture and Sinterklaas. This one was from work. Ah, okay. So getting one from work would make sense. Well, there you go. I'm self-employed, and Before's workplace is he also works from home. So he works remotely. So there you go. All right, so my chocolate letter is from Sinterklaas, and Before picked it up from Hema, where they were holding it for us for only a small fee. So I've got my Hema chocolate letter. Yeah, that works. I thought it might be funny to get chocolate letters for our teachers, because we're taking Dutch lessons, and it's 2 times a week. So I was thinking it would be funny for us to get chocolate letters and give to them. So we didn't get to the store in time for our lesson today, and our next lesson isn't until Tuesday, which is after Santa Claus. But I still think it'd be kind of funny to pick up letters if we have them, if they have the right letters, and just give it to them on Tuesday. Just like leave them on their desk at the front of the classroom, like when they're not looking or something. That would be kind of funny. So yeah, so in the class, I was gonna say, so our teachers didn't bring chocolate letters into the class for everybody or anything like that, but they did bring in some Kravnoten, and they had like these little paper cups basically, and so they poured some into the paper cups and put them on our tables because we're in little groups, and so we could all try the Kravnoten. That was fun. But I'm celiac, so I can't have wheat, tarve. Any of that kind of stuff, so anything with gluten in it, I really can't have. I mean, I can, like I can put it into my body, but I wouldn't want to do so. Sounds like a terrible idea. Oh, hi, Shore Liz. Bye. Good luck with work. Oh, get the S for Santa Claus or the P for Pete. I like that. That's funny. Oh, that'd be cute. So they gave us those the other day. That was, I think, Tuesday, because we watched some of the Santa Claus Journal in class, and then we're like, we don't have enough vocabulary yet to really understand what's going on. So we like watched it through, and then we talked about it, and then we had papers with questions, and then like at one point, we watched it again and watched it slow, like she'd pause it every so often and be like, ask us something in Dutch, and we're all like, 5.5 million, what was it? There's like 5.5 million crowd note. Yeah, that's what it was. There's 5.5 million crowd note. Now these cookies are pretty small, if those of you who aren't familiar, like the size of a large button, kind of. But still, they're like a half of a sphere. They're like flat, and they're curved on the top. So anyway, so 5.5 million crowd noten are made at just this one factory. Like that's insane. Like so much crowd noten. And then he's gone to the kitchen to grab some. And then there's 20 million chocolate letters are consumed every year, I think it was, which is hilarious because the population of the Netherlands is 17 million. So that's 3 million more chocolate letters that are eaten than people who actually, live in the Netherlands. Okay, so we'll see if y'all can see these, but these are a couple of, these are Kravnoten. So that's kind of half, it's like a half sphere. Now these are the regular ones, these are also with gluten. So I'm going to pass those over to, I'll leave those here for Affadil to consume. You eat multiple seems about right. Actually, it's funny because I started thinking about it. I was like, okay, actually I'm kind of surprised that we don't have like 17 million people. So like the bicycles, there's 17 million people, but there's like 30 million bicycles. So I feel like, maybe it's 20 million, whatever, but I feel like it should be the same way, right? With the chocolate letters, like there's 17 million people, so should be like 30 million chocolate letters. Because I was like, yeah, because you've got, your first name, you've got your last name, you've got a middle name, like there's all sorts of chocolate letter possibilities here, people, come on. So, anyway, so they brought the crowd note in on Saturday. Oh, thank you. And then, okay, so here's something I'll point out real quick. Oh, it went away. I didn't finish accepting it. Oh, thank you. That was so weird. It went away really fast. Okay. If you're in a fellowship, you can share the quest. Oh, but that's funny. It was for red. Oh, but I still can. Okay, hang on a second. If you're in a fellowship, you can pick up the quest and share it with your other fellowship members, so you don't have to all run over there. But all the sticks are gone, so I'm going to cancel that quest. And I'll run over to the blue one because I didn't actually get a stick, so it didn't start my timer. That's convenient. Okay, So I'll grab that. This is how we do it sometimes with our cousins, is we'll just have one person go over and get the quest, and then the other cousins just stand by their sticks and we just share the quests with them. And it makes it picking up sticks go a little bit faster. So, oh, maybe, yeah, so is that why there's so many S's in the displays? Because because S for Santa Claus? That would kind of make sense. Sure. I think we should just buy a bunch of chocolaters next time, you know. I mean, they're going to be gone soon, so we should probably just grab a bunch. Just, stock up. Yes. Morgen, Albertine. What are you farming for? Just got back to the game after almost 3 years. Are there any new chickens? Nope. Not as far as I'm aware. I started playing about 3 years ago. So, but we're on Treebeard, which is a new server and opened up about end of June, like June 30th, I think it was. So we don't have a lot of tokens yet because there's only been a couple of Hobnanigans instances that have happened. I would like to get the consumables at some point. So there's a whole bunch of things to get there. But this is the list of the chickens. So there's the Blackfoot, there's Dorking, Orange Wyandotte, Red, Scrapper, and White. So those are the 6. So if those are the same that you remember from 3 years ago, then it's the same chickens. Yeah, progression server. So the server that we're on is, oh, I should check, see if I have any chicken tokens. No special ones. Is currently at level cap 50. So yeah, so that's kind of cool. So everybody's kind of running around in the same areas together. And then January 5th, we go to, we get Moria. Moria appears on this server. So we're trying to make sure we do all the things we want to do before we go into Moria and then start probably leveling again. So we're level 50 and we've just started going and doing the big stuff together. So we did like the different wings, like spider wing and drake wing and I don't know, chicken wing. That's not right, but buffalo wild wing. Giant, that was the other one. Like buffalo wild wing. Anyway, we did those as with people, just grabbing people in LFF and whatnot. So we could, yes, prepare for Helagrad. And then we actually went in and did Helagrad with, did we do it with 12?
We did each the 12 to unlock 24.
Yeah, but I thought we went and did. We did do the 24. But I'm saying I don't know that we had 24 people for it. But we did each of the 12s, and then people are like, let's go do it. And so we did it. I don't think we grabbed any extra people. I think we just did it with like 11 or 12 people. That's true, of maybe 13. So it was tier 1 though. So it's so funny because we played on Bombadil, the Bombadil server, which happened last summer. So almost a year and a half ago. And it was a competitive server, so PvP was available, but it didn't like reward you for it. It just basically kept you like, you were an obstacle to other people getting things done is basically how it was. Because the way you earned honor, which was how you scored onto the leaderboard, was by completing deeds. So everybody was trying to get every single deed on the server that you could for up to level 50 because that's how high it went. Lou Blood Moon, nice, welcome. Welcome, good to see you in the stream. We're playing a game of Hobnanigans here, or we're waiting to. Yeah, that seems absolutely horrible. It was really interesting. I didn't hate it, actually. Kevin knows best. I had a lot of fun with it. The pair of us are very completionist oriented. So it really played in well to our interests. So we it's like all the Slayer deeds in the Shire and in Breland, and so all your area door stuff. Everything in level 50 or below was completionist. And there are deeds for Rift tier 2 and tier 3. So we were, like our whole focus was on making sure, we had the armor that we needed to have, and do you have the right jewelry to give you the buffs that you need, and do you have hope tokens from the store, and hope tokens that are crafted because they have they don't share the same cooldowns, and so you could do both. Like all these things, tactical mitigations and physical mitigations, and we were like hardcore figuring this all out, which was really fun because you may have picked up that I'm a kind of casual player. I enjoy the fun and the social things on the server, and not so much like end game raiding or anything of that style. Like, I really am not looking to min max my character unless we're talking like cosmetics or something, because I do have fun with some of that stuff. I don't even know what that would, how that you would rate min maxing your cosmetics.
Wear your 3 hats.
I have the best hat in the game. This hat goes with 12 outfits. I don't know. So anyways, it was a different experience for me. But it was really interesting because there were 2 factions. You had to join a faction in order to participate in the partaking in attacking other people in the world, in the wild. Your best outfit is my goal, right? Exactly, right? I'm totally there with you. So it was really interesting. Okay, so anyway, so we started off. You had to have 2 factions. So like the red team and the blue team, like here, right? And there were limitations on things you to do with the other team. Like for example, you couldn't. What was it? There was some sort of communication block. Now I don't remember. It's been long enough that I don't remember. Now we thought you couldn't be in the same kinship from both teams, but you could. We discovered. So at first we created 2 kinships. Like one kinship was created for the blue team, and then we created another kinship for the red team, for example, because people wanted to be able to play. Because there's you got titles, but like this blue cloak that she has, I think that is actually isn't that one of them? If it's not one, it looks really close to it. So there was a cloak that you got if you were on the blue team, and there was a cloak that you got if you were on the red team or orange. It looks kind of like a hot dog, whatever. So if you wanted both cloaks, because some of us are completionists, you had to have, okay, so that is the Elro here cloak. And then there was the other one. Not Edmund, that's terrible. It's the 2 sons of Elrond. Yeah, there's the other cloak. It's the hot dog cloak, as we affectionately call it. Eladon, thank you. So there was, so you had to have a character get to a certain number, like 25 completed deeds, I think, or 15, in order to then earn the cloak. And of course, many of us want both of the cloaks, and so you had to have a character on each team. So it was really interesting because the server lasted for like 4 weeks. And the first week, people are just like slamming each other, and like you'd be out at like Adzo's camp just trying to like take down a brigand or something, and all of a sudden there's a swarm of people from the other team, and all of a sudden you're gone and you're back at the spawn point, which is really close to Adzo's camp, and so you're trying to run over to those brigands again. All of a sudden you run into that swarm again, and bam, you're back to the, so it did, like I said, it was not so much that it helped that team, it just hindered you from the other team. And so there was a lot of that competitiveness of like, we're better, team red is or better, no, team blue is better, and we people had names, like there was name calling and stuff. So I didn't really engage in that part of it because I don't know, unless it was clever. Like every once in a while there was some clever stuff, like like Yo Mama jokes, but they were like in lore, and so some people came up with some really creative things that did make me laugh sometimes. But most of the time, it just, the name calling wasn't really for me. But you had to get really creative when you saw people of the other team. And so that became really interesting. And people started like coming up with things like, You would take over Estelden, and you would hold it against the other team. And so people who were trying to turn in quests there couldn't do so because you had that other thing. So that was really fascinating. Also, I had up to that point played a lot of stand and do my thing, and then I would move over to the next thing and I would stand and do my thing. And I learned that if I could be more mobile, that I was less likely to be taken out by the other team members. So I got really good at moving, but also targeting like another player. Like if there was somebody who was attacking me, I would target them. And so I got really good at learning how to target and how to like use the target of my target and use the targeting thing on the screen. And like it really upped my game in a lot of ways. And so that was really cool. So when we got to those raids, when we got to doing Rift and stuff like that, so that was like 3 weeks by the time we were starting to do Rift. So there were people who had gotten to the server, and I will answer your question in a minute, Kevin knows best, I really will. So it was PvP. Yes, it was open world PvP. There were a couple of safe spots, like Bree was safe. You couldn't attack other people in Bree. But once you got outside of Bree, it was, open game. So it was really fascinating in that regard. And it was, it encouraged people to team up. You didn't play solo anywhere near as much because being in a group, you had much more survivability. It was fascinating. It was really fascinating. You can read up on it, Kevin knows best. There's people on the forums. There were some very strong opinions about it because, so here's the deal though, is the PvP players were looking for something where they could really like take out other players, kind of like, the monster thing. I think SSG was trying to come up with a way to keep it still within lore. And so that's why they had Illidan and Elrohir were basically like, hey, people who align with me are better at, being hunters, being Bjornings, being whatever, than the people who align with you, oh brother of mine. And so it was one of those kinds of ideas was the plan, was kind of how they played that. But it was interesting, yeah. So a lot of PvP seekers were looking for an in-game reward for, attacking other players. So when it turned out that the rewards to get honor, which got you onto the leaderboard, were in doing deeds, it wasn't so much a PvP server, it was a deeding server, which was fine with me because I love completing deeds. I was totally cool with that. So when we got to the point where we were doing the Rift, like around week 3, a lot of the hardcore PvP people had actually left because they were bored. And I'm like, there's still so much game to do here, guys. There's like 2 weeks left. And, you're not top of the leaderboard, so I don't know why you're leaving, but they did. So we got to the point where there was enough people to do Rift and Dragonwing to Helgrod. Sorry, to do Helgrod and Rift. But you needed to combine with players of the other side. So that was really interesting because you could still attack them by mistake. So you had to be careful about like your AoEs if you were standing next to somebody who was on the other team. So we tried to, like, I usually play a hunter, and so I tried to make sure I was in front of anybody who was on the other team, so that way I wouldn't by mistake shoot them, for example. Like, we actually took out people during raids of the other team by mistake. Yeah, all the Illidans, please stand over on the left so we don't hit you by mistake. Like, because it would usually be like, most were one team and then like a small handful were from the other team. So it was really fascinating. But so because we were doing that, there were people who wanted to get those deeds completed. And so it was in their best interest to make sure all the people who were also part of that raid were well equipped and knew how to do it and all of that. So it became for me, I felt like it was a real teaching area. Like, everybody was invested in making sure that everybody was going to do well. and that was a lot of fun for me. You know, I got much more proficient at doing a lot of various things in the game. It changed the way I looked at my skills and the things that I could do. Yeah, it was really, really interesting of an experience for me. So I loved it. I thought it was great. So your question was, what happened to your character after the server died? So yes, the servers closed, but they told us about a week in that we were going to be able to transfer our characters off the server once it was all done. There was going to be like a little period of time where they were going to have to tidy up some things, but we were going to be able to transfer our characters off. So we were able to transfer our characters off for free, which was fantastic. So all of that completionist deeding that we had done remained with that character. Yeah. So that answers that question for you there. So I had 2 characters there, and because this is before they said we could transfer them off, I created a hunter, and that was my main that I went through we were doing everything together. And then my secondary character, I also created a hunter because I like the travel skills, and it was a set of skills that I was pretty good with. So it was really funny because after we found out that we could transfer, because I thought it was going to be a throwaway character. So after the fact, then I was like, oh, I can take this character with me. Maybe I should have picked a different class, because I was thinking if I took both characters to another server together, you know, I might want to have multiple different classes. As it turns out, you didn't have to transfer them together. So I took one to Evernight, and I took the other one to Laurelin. And so as it turns out, having them both be hunters has worked out because they're both my mains. Well, yeah, I play them both. So funny thing though is so a little bit of my the history of my server playing. I started on Brandywine like 3 years ago because Affadil and I had been talking about, I wanted to play video games. I like playing video games. And I wanted to have a video game that we could play together. And I had really enjoyed Diablo 3 specifically, but it didn't really have a good online play together kind of thing. And so we realized that really what I was probably looking for was going to be an MMO of some sort. And so we were looking around to see what was out there and what might, have a feeling to it that I would enjoy, because I'm not a big shooter person. I'm not big on the violence thing, but I like storyline, and I like immersion, and I like character development. We should do Sarnar. Yeah, good call. So I was looking for something that would have something to it, right? Some depth to it, not just do this, do that, shoot things, hit things, whatever. So funny thing though is so B4 and I were looking for this together, and B4 had played Lotro when it first came out. They were in that early stuff, but they didn't buy a lifetime. So that's kind of funny. Anyway, but their characters were on Brandywine. So we're like, okay, we'll play on Brandywine. Now we didn't know much about the servers at that time. So we didn't know that there was kind of a category of servers that are the US and a category of servers that are European. And that's because originally the servers were located physically in the US and in Europe. We are in Europe. We moved to Europe in August of 2018. So we moved to the Netherlands. So we had been wanting to play with other European players. So, in hindsight, being on Brandywine wasn't the right place for us, because that is very much a US-based server, and it has a very, I would say, a very American culture to it. It also has a very heavy Russian population, which is cool. I took some Russian back in school. But we weren't really finding the European players that we were looking for. So I was on Brandywine, and then I started playing on Anor because I was curious about that experience. And there were times when I wanted to play and B4 wasn't available, so I was like, okay, well, I can play by myself on Anor, which is also a legendary server. So you need a VIP subscription to be, or you need to be a subscriber, so VIP or lifetime works. And another friend of mine was playing over there, and I thought, well, that'd be cool because maybe she and I could play together. As it turns out, our schedules are exactly opposite because she has kids and sleep schedule because she's in the U.S. versus my sleep schedule here in Europe. It totally, like, she's playing when I'm asleep and I'm playing when she's asleep or with kids and stuff. It's just never worked out. But anyway, so I was having fun though on Anor. But I was often playing kind of by myself. But Anor is a small enough server that it's kind of like the whole place is just one big kinship in a way. We all are in different kinship names, but really everybody just kind of looks after each other. So that was kind of nice. I liked the community there was nice. It felt nice there. So I was on those two servers for, I don't know, nine months or something like that. But I kept hearing things about like Landreval had all that music stuff, and so I was like, wow, that's really cool. I wish I had a character there. And then there's the European servers, and I was like, oh man, I wish I had a character on a European server. So I started getting like all of those things coming in together. And so after we did the Bombadil server last summer, it was like, we're going to transfer these characters off to anywhere we want. Now's the perfect opportunity for us to get in on the European servers. So that's why I decided to take one to Evernight, because Evernight is very heavily European focus, European based. A lot of European players are on Evernight, and that's the big server for that. As opposed to like Cyranon, which is French speaking, and my French is not good enough to play there, or Guahir, and the other one, which are the German servers. One is like a regular server, and the other one is role playing. And I don't have any German really to speak of. So that wasn't really, a good option for us. So we went to Evernight. But I also wanted to check out Laurelin, and Laurelin is a role-playing server. And so I took the second character I had made that had not done all the completionist stuff. She had just gotten enough to get the cloak. So I sent her to Laurelin. You played all the Diablo games. That's very cool. I did not. I played Diablo 3 and then the Diablo 3 like expansion, so it takes you into like the fourth story or fourth act or whatever it is. So I played that. And that was really cool, and I had, I don't know, like 3 characters on there and stuff like that. And I was definitely having fun with that. And I also played what's the other one? It's like set kind of in like ancient Greece kind of thing, and you're running around and trying to stop bad things from happening. Oh, it was just on sale on Steam recently. Like, it was available on Steam for free recently. Titan Quest. Kevin Knows Best has it. Yeah, so you can see kind of like, the similar kinds of games. It feels like a lot of people play a lot of the same games together, right? Yeah, you also played that for years, right? Like, I played that off and on so many times. And I would always get to this part in the story where it was near the end, and you're like kind of going up a bunch of levels, like the Hanging Gardens, I think it was, and I could not get past that part. So, and maybe I could now that my game skills are kind of a little bit, gotten a little bit higher. And then Ithil, yes, okay. So then I had characters on those. And actually, I decided that I really wasn't enjoying the culture on Brandywine, and it kind of came to a head one day. This is one of the few times when I was not happy with the community, because most of the people in Lotra are fantastic, but I was like, somebody was being mean in like World, and I was like, hey, this isn't how we treat each other here, and they're like, well, if you don't like it here, you could leave. Yeah. And I was like, well, that is a terrible thing to say. Like, why would you say that to somebody? Like, I'm saying you're being a jerk, and you're like, yes, let me double down on that. Like, okay, yes, you are. But I chewed on that, and I realized that I wasn't enjoying being on Brandywine. So I saved up my Lotro points, and I transferred. I had like 5 or 6 characters on Brandy at that point, and I transferred 3 of them over to Landreval, and I like it there better. Like it makes me happier. So it was the right choice, and I just left Brandywine behind, and I'm totally fine with that. I mean, my other characters are still there, but like in case there's ever any event I want to go attend or something there. But for the most part, I just ignore Brandy. So it's not like I'm really there. Yeah, Landreval is just such a good group of people. Yeah. So after Bombadil, and we started playing really heavily on Evernight, and the kinship we had been in on Bombadil was made up of people that were in a lot of different places, but there was a handful of them that were very active on Evernight. But you know, things happen. You know, you go back to your normal server, you go back to your normal play style, you go back to your normal life. And because Bombadil had been like an intense 4 weeks, boom, 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 gotta go, right? So, after like a couple of, you know, after a little bit of time on Evernight, people kind of like, you know, ended up going in different directions, or some of them had actually been, were actually in charge of another kinship that's a large raiding kin, and so they needed to focus on that. And so our kin kind of, I don't know if fizzled out is the right word, but I mean, like, some of us are still there. But we didn't have quite the, you know, the group anymore that was playing together regularly. And some of the folks had also gotten onto Anor, and so we ended up with like a weekly group on Anor. So we started working on just being on Anor more often. So still, yeah, the Bombadil community got diluted as everyone scattered back out to their servers. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And also, it did seem like, because, you know, you'd been so focused for those 4 weeks, and then you go back to your regular playing, and that didn't necessarily involve, you know, going and beating with these people anymore, right? You go back to what you were doing before. So which is totally legit. But we made some good friends, and so that's really cool. And there's people that like we still run into. We have like the Discord server, and you know, it's cool. That's really neat, and I do enjoy that. I always like making new friends with good people. And there's so many good people in Lotro. It's such a good community. So we started playing. Oh, so there was a period of time when B4 was really busy with work, and I had some free time. So I'm like, boy, I would really love to, you know, play with a group. And I had just gone over to Landreval, and I was kind of over there by myself because I hadn't really like. I didn't feel the need to rush into a kin because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And then somebody was advertising like a kin. They were starting a group that would be running together weekly, and you know, so you would do the content together, and that really appeals to me. I really like doing things with other people, like a small group of people, a large group of people. It doesn't necessarily matter to me as long as I kind of get to know those folks. Like I really enjoy that that community aspect of things. So I love the loot on the back of you. That's really fantastic. It's as huge as you are. The loot on your back is as big as you, Hobbit, are.
Yeah, I was trying to get my foot to show.
That was great.
What the magic trick is.
I don't either. Weird Willow obviously has it. I don't know how it does it. That's one of the mysteries that I still have not unlocked. So I started playing on Landreval. I started a new character. No, wait. I was playing Adamantia, which is a burglar, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna really crack this nut this time. I'm gonna figure out how to play a burglar. And we got up to like, I don't know, level 35 or something, and I'm like, I am not cracking this nut. I'm just not getting it. So I went and created a hunter and leveled her up real quick and started playing her. So the funny thing is, then B4 stopped being so busy with work and started joining me on Landreval. Which was diluting their time because, you know, he's got that completionist character over on Evernight. And he's like, he really prefers to just focus on one character at a time. And so I'd taken him over to Landreval, and we were playing there, and Anor once a week, playing over there, and the Landreval people wanted to do twice a week, which was more than we could handle. We tried, but we just couldn't do it. They actually wanted to do 3 times a week, and I'm just like, I just cannot. And then the Anor group once a week, and then we were still playing on Evernight sometimes. Like, it was a little crazy. So we had to just scale back. So we scaled back, and we don't play on Landreval hardly ever anymore. And I don't play on Evernight much anymore because when Treebeard opened at the end of June, that was really what I was looking for. Like, I really liked the slow progression on Anor, but it was still going too fast for me, and we couldn't keep up. Like, we tried to catch Cap, and it kept being out of reach, you know? It kept being too far. So we couldn't catch up to the Cap. And then as we started to think we were getting close, it was, you know, the Cap would increase again. It's like, no, we can't catch up. So it was close. It was like, it was so close, Anor was, but it was just too far ahead of us. And so when Shadowfax and Treebeard opened, I was like, this is it. This is what I've been looking for. So we jumped on this day one, and it's been perfect. Like, I should be careful to use the word perfect, but it has been fantastic. Like, it's so much of what I was looking for. The slower progression, you know, it has the same kind of feeling as Anor did because it's got it's a smaller group on the server, but yet you see the same people all the time, and there's so many hardcore festival people here too, which is fantastic. Like, I see the same festival people, like, we're using these, you know, consumables on each other, the same people. That's great. Okay, so is Treebeard 1x, or is the leveling faster? Also, which one of the servers has the difficulty level? And then Splomono asks, is it like a retro server? Okay, so to those questions, it's not a retro server in the sense that they didn't roll back anything that they've fixed or changed over the years. So for example, there's a new virtues system that was introduced a year ago, maybe? I'm starting to lose track of time. So instead of having to go and finish a deed in order to have a specific virtue, you get points that you put into the virtues that you want. And then you assign 5 of them that are active, and then the rest of them you just get the passive benefits. So in that regard, it's not a retro server. It is a slow progression server. So right now our level is 50. The server level cap is 50. So for example, we have, you know, the quests are all open to us here in Area Door. So we can go into Region Enedwe. No, wait. We can go to Region. But like, we've got Trollshaws, we've got Angmar, we've got the Misty Mountains, North Downs, Shire, Bree, Heirloom, all of those. So that's where everybody is questing right now. And in terms of experience, so what they did on Anor and Ithil, which was Anor and Ithil were opened at the same time, Sun and Moon. So that's nice. Because basically Anor was busy, and it kind of got a little bit busier than they were expected, so they opened up Ithil to be kind of an overflow server, but then the overflow kind of stopped. So Ithil kind of was a little like, it didn't have a lot of people for a long time. Not enough people really to sustain what they wanted to do. And so they kind of made the decision that Ithil was no longer needed. So Ithil got closed this summer, and the characters that are still there can still be transferred off. So just a little side note there. Okay, so Anor is like 60% of normal. So like normal, Evernight, Landreval, all of those, that's like 100%, right? You get 100% of your experience. And then Anor was like 60%. And here on Treebeard, we are slow like the Ents. And, oh, thank you. Thanks. There's a link there. We are earning 40% of the experience. So it's much slower. Yes, exactly. You don't out level the areas. You're able to go and check out, like, poke into every single quest in the area. Like, oh my gosh, we're doing stuff like we went all the way into Bree. We went all the way up to here to Nenharn, and we were doing all the quests up there. And yeah, all just having all sorts of good stuff. Let's see. I got a minute and a half before I can get to the next one. Now, Shadowfax was opened at the same time. And yeah, I will mention the, yeah. So on Anor, there were kind of two things that were being asked of SSG, because they were opening up the next set, like the next expansion area, about every 4 months. And so there were some people like myself who were like, whoa, we're going too fast, I can't keep up. And there were other people who were like, when are you gonna open? When are you gonna open? When are you gonna open? We're bored, we need to go, we gotta go, right? So I think SSG said, okay, we're gonna try and satisfy both camps. And so they opened up Treebeards for those of us who wanna go slower, and the expansions open up every 6 months. And then they opened up Shadowfax, where you get 150% of experience, so you're just zooming through it. And they're getting the next expansion every 2 months. So zoom, 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 and slow as an ant, right? Yeah, so SSG was like, also at the same time, SSG had been developing this difficulty slider thing. Let's see if I can pull that up. So before you are level 11, you can go to, there's a guy standing around doing what some people call like a heavy lean, a hard lean up against a, oh, there's a picture on the link, right, excellent. So you go talk to that guy and you pick the difficulty that you want to play on. And if you do this before you get to level 11, it opens up a deed where, you know, you play through level 50, and then play through level 130, on, you know, any of those difficulties, hard or higher. Sorry, what does that say? Is that right? Hard? Through, yeah, on hard difficulty or higher, and you get a title. And then there's a second set of titles if you do it on deadly difficulty or higher. So we've chosen the deadly difficulty, which, let me see, is there a buff for that? There is, right? Is it? Yeah. So for deadly difficulty, let's see what it says. No, it doesn't show us the harder stuff. You know, so the funny thing, and I kind of wish they hadn't done it this way. If you're playing on deadly difficulty, you actually get 20% experience gain bonus on monster kills, but I don't want that. But you do get plus 5% virtue XP on some things when you earn virtue XP, like maybe from deeds. I see it sometimes and I don't see it other times, so I haven't quite paid attention to what I get it from. And that doesn't tell us. But basically, like the monsters, it's harder to hit them and it's easier for them to hit you. So like those mitigations are changed when you're playing on the harder difficulties. Also, there'll be an effect where basically Sauron has seen you through his enemies that you are currently in combat with. And so like if I'm in combat, let's say I was in combat with this referee over here, then something might trigger that. And he's like, aha, Sauron has now seen you. And underneath me would show up a box, like a little white box. And then bigger around me is a red box. And if I'm in that red box after, I can't remember how long the ticking is, but it's like 1, 2, 3, like 3 seconds. If I'm still in that, there's an effect that happens, which looks like a big firebomb, and it takes about a quarter of your health, a quarter of your morale. So what you do is, you know, as soon as you see that box, it doesn't move. So then you just spend a lot of your time like zipping out of it while you're still trying to stay in combat. So that's really interesting. And again, it's kind of taken me back to some of those Bombadil things where I learned a little bit more about, you know, how to move, how to attack things on the run, how to be more mobile, all of those things. So it's been really interesting. Oh, let me try and share this quest with you real quick. All right, no, it didn't share with you. Oh, I think you have to leave the field, in which case you might as well just go pick it up. Kaboom. So yeah, okay, so there's a link in there that gives a little bit more information about Legendary. So if there's things that I didn't catch, it'll be there. And yeah, Ithel, Weir Willow says Ithel was a lovely, quiet place to hang out, but yeah, you wouldn't get a message on World for hours at a time. It was a much smaller group of people. Because, like I said, it was the overflow for Anor, and unfortunately they couldn't just feed those people back into Anor because, people bought houses and they overlapped with other houses, and some people just wanted to stay on Ithel. They like the name better or whatever, So yeah. But eventually, like I said, they did close it this summer. They went ahead and made that decision to do that. So, yeah, Shadowfax is 40%, 50%. So basically, you don't outlevel us. Now, I have to say, you say we don't outlevel the areas. However, we did all of the starter areas. So we did Heirloom, we did Bree, we did the Shire, and we did find ourselves out-leveling the areas. So we did end up buying the Stone of the Tortoise, which halts your experience gain. It's a pocket item. So we did do that, and we have been wearing those when we're out and about, so we don't gain more experience because we didn't want to keep leveling. Now we're at server cap, so it's irrelevant, and I can have a good pocket item, but yeah. Okay, so what else did y'all say? You're playing a brawler right now and doing the quest deeds in every area for your nostalgia kick. Yeah. Treebeard is very appealing, and I mean, I'll just bring that up. I'm just gonna put it out there that, like I said, we get Moria on January 5th, so you've still got a whole month of playing on the server before we even get into Moria. If you wanted to try and catch up and be at server cap and go into Moria with other people, but you don't have to because there's people who are starting new characters every day, basically. Every day there's somebody looking for a new kinship in World. They're brand new to the server. So you would not, I would say you wouldn't find yourself playing alone if you didn't want to. Also, I mean, it's a good community, so there's lots of good kinships. It's so funny when somebody, here's what's really different. So check this. So when somebody gets into World Chat and they're like, hey, I'm looking for a kinship, anybody recruiting? On your other servers, you'd get 5 different kin ads, and the person would be bombarded with a bunch of instant messages, right? Here, you might get bombarded with some messages, I don't know, but you definitely get people who will be in World Chat and they'll be like, well, what kind of a kinship are you looking for? What kinds of things appeal to you? Like trying to kind of vet the person in a way and see if we can steer them to a group that will match their interest in their play style. So I think that's really cool. Like, I love the fact that anybody's not just like chomping on fresh meat. They're like, well, where's going to be a good place for you? That kind of thing. And yeah, Splamona, I think it is really cool that SSG is listening to the community. It's something they do a lot. And they have a very small team, and so they're trying to balance, what they have the capability to do versus, what they want to do. But asking the community for input is huge. Like there was, they were making some changes to the PvP stuff, and they asked a whole bunch of questions. Like they got somebody who's just focused on that right now, one of the SSG folks, and they were asking for input on the forums, and then they opened up Bull Roar, which is a test server, and that was opened, and they did a whole bunch of testing there, and they asked the PvP players to come and see what they thought and give their feedback. And so I think it's really neat. I think that maybe one of the number of reasons. I think it definitely adds to why Lotro, has such longevity, and I expect it to continue to. Okay, so let's see, more chat. Oh my, let's see. I'm really, I think the account-wide titles are neat, but I'm really loving the increased challenge of landscape difficulty in general. Yeah, that has been fun. It makes stepping into an instance almost a relief because the landscape difficulty doesn't happen there. Right, so the monsters don't hit as hard when you go into an instance. And we don't have that, that effect, the aerial bombardment, as some people call it. Yeah. And so, yeah, and you were not expecting elite master mobs outside the Circle of Despair and the landscape Brad Gularan and Angmar to be so challenging undeadly. Yeah, there is no place where it's just like, oh, this is just a walk in the park. Like, you'll be just toddling along, you're like, okay, I got this, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, whoops. There's still times, like, if I'm trying to do something by myself, and I'm like, okay, I'll grab a mob. Oh, okay, I'll grab 2. Oh, that was good. Okay, I'll grab 3. Oh, I grabbed 4. Oh dear, I'm dead. It was great. Yeah, we had a group of 4 or 5. Yeah, there was 4 or 5 of us that were running through Angmar, through the Circle of Despair, and we had to really plan it out, and we definitely went down a few times. It's just, yeah, it's definitely, so from that, so when people say, is it a classic server? I mean, by definition, no, because like I said, they didn't roll back all the improvements they've made over the last 14 years. But the people who played then and are playing now are saying that, yes, it does remind them a lot of some of the older way because of how that difficulty has brought back a lot of the complexity of being out in the world. Like, okay, let me put it this way. So I came out of the High Elf intro. In the High Elf intro, you don't get experience as you're going along, unlike like the Hobbit one and the Brawler one and all the other ones, right? So there's a couple of them where you just don't get the experience until you come out. Well, so I came out and I'm level 3 because remember, we got reduced experience here. So I'm level 3 in, Ered Luin down at the docks at Kellendam. And I'm like, I can't even talk to Wenda Cranesbill to pick up my VIP rewards. So I need to be level 5. I can't even get my novice to get my horses, Yeah, Wenda's like, shh, come talk to me when you're level 5, little level 3, whatever, So so I'm like, okay, I need to go and just do a couple quests, it'll be fine. I'll just level up real quick. Yeah, those sickle flies are deadly. Because I went ahead and picked up the difficulty slider because I didn't want to forget. And yeah, I'm level 3 out there and I'm getting my butt kicked. So like, it's the sort of thing where we're like, okay, there's a group of sickle flies here and there's some other players. Fellowship, let's get in. Okay, cool, let's do this together. Like, to hit level 5 sickle flies. Like, it was hilarious. And people are going down. Like, there are people like knocked out from just sickle flies or shrews. Like, the shrews in the Shire are brutal when you're level 5. So it's great. It's been a lot of fun, and it really has added a lot to the play experience. So I'm loving it. So Treebeard positives, you finally have time to do all the stuff. Treebeard negatives, it'll take years to catch up to what's current. Is that a bad thing? So, well, yeah, okay, yeah. It's like, I never know, I mean, who knows what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Like, I could wake up tomorrow and be like, Tolkien's dumb. I hate this stuff now. I don't think that's likely to happen, but, So I kind of tracked it out based on what expansions, have come out in what order. And so Gundabad, that just came out, I think I figured out that it will come to Treebeard estimating to be like summer of 2027. And that's content that I'm interested in trying. I'm interested in getting in there, and this whole dwarf storyline is interesting to me as a concept, but I haven't actually gotten to it. And I'm not going to get to it if I continue to just focus on my Treebeard characters, which is kind of what I'm doing. I'm not going to get to that Gundabad stuff until, 6 years from now, 5.5 years from now. So is that a bad thing? Not inherently, because if we do get there, if we're still playing in 5 years, which I kind of think we probably will be, then we will have completed so much content between here and there that storyline will be so much richer to me, and that will be neat. So I like that idea. But it's just kind of funny because it's like I'm front loading now, like I'm buying now for me in the far future. Like we did go ahead and buy the Gundabad, packs, and I, because I wanted some of the goodies and stuff anyway. So, but by the time we get to Gundabad, there'll be another like 3 expansions out. Like we're always going to be chasing it down at that point. Although I suppose, they come out less frequently than every 6 months. So eventually we will catch up to live. It's just going to be a long time. Oh yeah, Falco's Garden. That was the one that took me by surprise. So like I'm reading LFF, I'm looking at World on a regular basis, and people were looking for fellowship for Falco's Garden. And I'm like, I don't know this. Is this an instance? Is this a quest? What is this? And so I go to the wiki, Falco's Garden, and I'm like, it's a level 12 quest. And people need help for this? Yeah, it's a boss fight in Bree. Help in Staddle. Okay, in Staddle. It's a boss fight in Staddle. And yeah, people needed help with it. It was fantastic. Yes, endgame Staddle. So that's the kind of thing that you get on Treebeard that I find delightful. Oh, I should try and share that with you. Or did you already get it? You already got it? Okay, cool. I don't need to worry about it. Yeah, so that was pretty funny. I don't know if you'll still get that now because a lot of people have moved on. On the other hand, a lot of us have other characters and many people have alts and stuff. So you might have to schedule it. You might be like, hey, I need to do this level 12 quest. Anybody want to do this with me like Saturday at 10 a.m.? You might be able to still get groups doing it. So yeah, it's pretty funny. Okay, well, we have been together here for almost 2 hours. And so I am going to wrap up. So I'm here every Thursday at this time. I start at 1 o'clock Eastern time, server time, which is most of the year. That means 7 o'clock Netherlands time. So those of you who are in Europe, hopefully you can enjoy hanging out here with me in the stream, and during a nice dinner in the evening and whatnot. Yeah, so 100 of the 194 non-anonymous people on Treebeard right now are level 30 or above. Yeah, so grouping up at the lower levels is happening less right now than it was, say, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. But it's still happening. So that's why I'm saying, yeah, you could always start now. And if you wanted someone to come in and help you who is way over leveled, absolutely, you could totally get that. Like I would go and help somebody with that if they wanted it. But some people don't want that, right? They want the experience of doing it on level with other people on level. And that's a totally valid experience. Ooh, a new place you may not have seen, Kevin knows best, is there's a place called the Wildwood. It's in Breeland, and it's up here. It's a level 40, 45, 50 area. It's lovely. And you get to it from either coming in from Trestle Bridge up at the top there, or Trader's Wharf, which is, they've got a boat network now that they didn't have before. And it's got like 3 or 4 locations. So Trader's Wharf is one of them. Buckland is one of them, King's Crossing and Avendim. So they're all connected by boat now, which is really cool. I love being able to get to Buckland so easy. So you've been there. Okay, cool. You've been there. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I really like the Wildwood. And they have travel skills that you can buy with their reputation. So, Agatha, nice to see you. Let's see. Okay, I got some chat I had missed. So let's see. Lou Bloodmoon says you're on Evernight, but you created a character on Treebeard, might catch up before Moria. Awesome, awesome. Well, okay, so obviously the pair of us here are on Treebeard. So if you ever need any help, you can look for me. I'm Rosenbloom. You can look for Affadil. sometimes I'm on as other characters, but I'm trying to be on as Rose and Bloom more often. That way people can, can find me if they need me and whatnot. Or anybody from Not So Hasty. That's our kinship. And the Not So Hasty. We're a small, tight knit kinship. We have like a few people, but we're very active. That are like we're really active. Like we're on every day. It's kind of funny. So yeah, if you ever need help from somebody, just give us a holler. Agathor, you were doing missions on a poorly geared runekeeper last night. Deadly +3. It was rough, so much death. That's what I mean. Like, I love the fact that it's not just a walk in the park, right? It's it's you got to work at it. Like, that's cool. It's very cool. Okay. Return to Trustlebridge is worth the price of admission. Oh, I love Return to Trustlebridge and I love Return to Trader's Wharf. I got both of them. And I got both of them as a hunter for my fellowship. So, the guide to, or return to, whatever it is, that's the fellowship one. So glad. I love being able to do that. Okay, so, yes, like I said, I'm here every Thursday. And then, let's see, put that in. Is it with an S? Maybe it's not. Maybe there's no S. This is why you should copy and paste, kids. There you go. So that's the Thursday lineup. French Girl Gaming is on like 14 hours before me, so she's kind of more of a Wednesday night from my perspective. But she's on technically Thursday. So, but if you're looking for her, you'll have to go back in time. And then I'm here on 1 o'clock server time. And then Eldaleth will be on, she's on like 6 hours after me, I think, because she streams like evening time in the US. And then Epic Uger is after her. Yeah, absolutely. If you end up on Treebeard, just give us a holler. One of the hardest things when you start on a new server, I find, is is kind of like getting started, right? Like, so you have no money, you have like, just getting those little things started. So, I mean, I will happily send you like, a couple gold just so that way you're like, oh, good, I can, get from place to place. Hooray. All of those things. Because that was like, oh my gosh, when the server first opened, like people are making, this was funny. Like if you go into your crafting window and like all that, oops, I don't know why I'm getting sticky nuts today. So like apprentice level, I was making like, armor, like, rough cloth leggings for level 9, level 7. It was hilarious. Like, and I'm putting them up in the auction house for like 10 silver or, something super cheap because it's like, nobody's got any money. Nobody's got any spare anything because we all just got here and the server's brand new. Like it was really quite a kick. So that was fun. And I wonder if it'll be like that with Moria stuff. If like, probably not. It's probably, I think the server's moved on enough that they're like, I have 200 gold now amongst all of my characters. So the auction house is getting a little bit more vibrant. Stuff like that. So yeah, Moria is going to be actually really cool because like everybody, but like a lot of people are going to be in there all at the same time. And that's going to be fun. Oops, well, that's not going well. Okay, so anyway, so Hobnanigans is this weekend. So if you're looking to get any of those emotes or pets or yard items, any of that stuff, now's your time to do so. Go get those Hobnanigan tokens, and then you can go and pick up all the things that you want to get. And remember, you're looking for those Quartermasters that are spread out kind of all throughout the areas. So like if you look, well, this is not so useful, but you can't really see it, but there's like squares on the ground here. So basically just go around the area of Hobnanigans, just kind of, hit the perimeter and you'll find all the Quartermasters and you can go and do your shopping around all of that. Hobnanigans, so we've just done a stream, like the last 2 hours, all Hobnanigans. So I would say rewind and watch some of this. You can fast forward through the parts if you want. Affodil also has been on screen explaining how to play the game to new players. But basically, when you play a game, whether you win or lose, you get 5 Hobnanigan tokens. If you're on the winning team, you get an additional 10. So that's a maximum of 15 per game that you can get. What I do is I like to try and get like 3 people on a field, and we all take a stick from one side, and then 5 minutes later you have a cooldown that's gone, and then you grab, all 3 of you go grab the other side, and then you start the game, it starts the game, and then you're always on the winning side, so you always get all of those tokens. That's the way I like to do it. And occasionally you get a special token. It looks like that, but it'll be white or Dorking or Orange Wyandotte or whatever. Those are rare drops though.
Talk for a minute about you get 15 tokens and pets cost whatever.
I don't remember how much the pets cost.
It's like 300.
Yeah, they're not cheap, put it that way. So what I would suggest you do is do some little bit of Hobnanigans this weekend, see how far you get, and then you can kind of figure out how many weekends of Hobnanigans you'll need to do in order to get all the things you want to get. Now, some of the emotes, like there's like this one, which is the butterfly face paint. So all the face paints are now available also at the Buried Treasure event. So if you find it easier to get tokens at the Buried Treasure event than to get Hobnanigans tokens, you could get the face paints that way and then get the Hobnanigans, use the tokens to get the chickens and stuff. So yeah, and so they're trying to schedule more regularly, and so I'm thinking that they're going to keep going with the 6 per year every other month. So it's been on even months the last 6 months of this year. So hopefully that's how that'll work. Okay, so yes, Hobnanigans is this weekend, so get out there and boot those chickens around. Listen to those chickens giggle as you boot them around. It's pretty hilarious stuff, pretty silly. And then next week, on next Thursday, we have the Yule Festival. So I love the festivals. And that'll be the first time we do the Yule Festival on Treebeard. So all of the cosmetics, all of the stuff, like I'm gonna be buying all of it. It's gonna be great. So I'll be running through the festival. I'll be showing you where to find things, kind of explaining like who do you need to talk to at the festival and how do you get things unlocked and get that. So there's usually like a starting quest where that kind of introduces you to the festival, and then after that, then all the festival quests open up and you can do those every day. So I'll show you where all that stuff is. So do the festivals also have the newest stuff, or those limited to old stuff? Almost always, when there's a festival, it'll have a lot of the old stuff, but there will be a selection of new stuff. And it's usually, so when you talk to the barterer, it'll be the stuff that's on the first page. And then also there'll be a drop-down menu at the top, and the drop-down will usually have a category called like new stuff, or this year, or this season, or something like that. And that'll have the stuff that is brand new for that festival. Now I say almost without exception because, oh, thanks, Sweeney. This year, because Gundabad was coming out at the same time for the Harvest Festival, the Halloween one, they didn't have anything new. They didn't have any new mounts. They didn't have any new cosmetics. They didn't have anything new this year. But I was okay with it because the cosmetics they had last year were amazing. In fact, the dress that I'm wearing I've dyed it Shire Peach, but this was the dress that they did last year, one of the cosmetics. So, and there's a matching tall pointy hat. Oh, here, I can actually show you. I can show you when I put my UI back on. There you go. It's like this super tall hat with this nice little curve at the top, huge brim, and then it's also got like this cowl thing going on, and the back, I got the cloak that matches. So like they just knocked the cosmetics out of the park last year. So the fact that they didn't come out with anything new this year, I was like, that's cool. The stuff was good enough last year to last you through too. I was okay with that. So yes, so Yule Festival starts next week. and it goes until I believe January, July. It goes until January 3rd or 4th, because Moria then opens January 5th. So it's going to be boom boom for those of us on Treebeard who are, you know, big on the festivals and whatnot. All right, I am going to go because it's getting late here for us. It's 9, yeah, it's 9 o'clock. Almost quarter past, almost quart over 9. So it is time for me to eat some of my chocolate letter and maybe think about going to bed on time tonight. Not likely, but you know, we can always hope. Okay, so if you have any questions that we didn't cover this time, please come back next week, and I'll be happy to answer anything that you bring up. And also before streams on Tuesday nights, an hour later than I do, so you can always bring questions there as well. They don't have to be related to plugins. That's what his stream is about, but you can ask any Lotro related questions. Absolutely, totally fine. That's why we're here. We have fun. Yes, Court over Nation. See, I've been studying. I've been studier. All right, everybody have a fantastic night. And as I say on my Heart of a Hobbit here stream, always, wherever you go and whatever you do, do try to stay in touch with the Hobbit side of your heart. All right, have a fantastic night, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye.